There's a sentence I read that hit me like a mirror I didn't ask for, but I needed it. But where other aims are in conflict with growth, we must choose growth or we will never break out of the trap we are currently in. And I want you to listen carefully, friends, because this is where most people get stuck and they don't even know they're stuck. You're trapped, and the trap is not that you don't want better. The trap is that you want too many things at the same time, and some of these things are fighting your growth. You want peace, but you keep choosing people pleasing. You want freedom, but you keep choosing comfort. You want progress, but you keep choosing approval. You want a new life, but you keep trying to keep everyone happy in the old life. And here is the painful truth. When your goals are in conflict, you don't choose the best one. You choose the one that hurts the least right now. And that's how a trap becomes a lifestyle. So today, I'm not here to motivate you for 5 minutes. I'm here to help you recognize what is keeping you stuck, then suggest a way out. Because if you don't choose growth, you keep choosing the trap with a different name. Let me tell you how this happens in real life. There are people who are genuinely good. They have big hearts. They help everybody. They show up, they sacrifice. But quietly, they're dying inside. And this is not because they're bad. Because their aim is to be a good person. But their growth requires set boundaries. And those two can feel like enemies. Because the moment you start growing, you start saying things like, I can't do that anymore. I'm not available for that. That's not my responsibility. I love you, but I can't carry this. And you know what happens? People who benefited from your lack of boundaries will call your growth selfish. And now you're standing at a crossroads. Do I grow, or do I remain loved by people who only love the version of me that overextends? And many people choose what keeps them accepted. They call it loyalty, they call it kindness, they call it being humble. But what it really is fear. Fear of being misunderstood, fear of being disliked, fear of being the bad guy. So they stay trapped. And then years pass. They're still tired, still overwhelmed, still resentful, still feeling like life is happening to them. And they don't realize they choose the trap every time they choose comfort over growth. Let's go a bit deeper. Some traps don't look like pain, they look like peace. You've ever been in a season where you told yourself, let me just rest. I've been through a lot. Oh, rest is great, but here's how the trap starts. Rest becomes hiding. Comfort becomes avoidance. And slowly, you start building a life where nothing challenges you anymore, but everything frustrates you. You want a better body, but you keep choosing I'll start Monday. You want a better relationship, but you keep choosing silence because confrontation feels hard. You want a new career, but you keep choosing security over growth. And I know why. Because growth asks for pain now, so you can have freedom later. But a trap offers pleasure now and pain later. You know, the trap is patient. It doesn't need to destroy you quickly. It just needs to keep you delayed. Just delayed enough that you begin to believe this is who you are. Let me hit something personal for many people. A lot of us are trapped by image. We want growth, but we also want to look like we already have it together. So we avoid starting things we might be bad at. We avoid asking questions. We avoid learning openly. We avoid being seen as a beginner. We avoid failure so much that we never become. So you stay trapped in potential. You become the person everyone says is gifted, but you never see the results. Simply because growth requires humiliation sometimes. Not humiliation where people shame you, but that humble season where you're learning and you're not impressive yet, and you can't hide behind the talk. Growth will embarrass your ego, and your ego will fight back by saying, "Don't do it. People will judge you." But listen, people are judging you already. Some are judging you for starting late. Some are judging you for never starting. Some are judging you because they're projecting their own regret. So, if people will talk anyway, why not let them talk while you grow? Because the trap is staying small to stay safe. And safe is not the same as free. Let's bring back that line. But where other aims are in conflict with growth, we must choose growth. This is what it means in plain language. Sometimes you can't have both. Sometimes you can't keep the relationship and become your best self unless the relationship evolves too. Sometimes you can't keep the comfort and gain the discipline. Sometimes you can't keep the old habits and get the new results. Sometimes you can't keep being liked and still being respected, because growth will demand a decision. And the trap is built from indecision. A trap is not always a bad place. It's a place you can't leave because you keep negotiating with it. You keep saying things like, "Let me do this one last time," or "Let me just make them happy for now," or "Let me just delay a little longer," or "Let me just keep this version of me alive while I try to build the next one." But growth, friends, doesn't happen in negotiation. Growth happens in decision. I want to give you something practical, because emotion without direction becomes frustration. Here are 4 trap questions. Answer them honestly by yourself. Number 1, what do I keep choosing that gives me relief now but regret later? That's a trap. Number 2, who benefits from me staying the same? That's more like a clue. Number 3, what am I calling loyalty that is really fear? That is a trap. And number 4, what does the next level of my life require that the current version of me resists? That's growth knocking on the door. And the truth is, you already know the answers. You already know what you need to stop. You already know the conversation you keep avoiding. You already know the habits that is draining you. You already know the environment that is shrinking you. But what you may not know is this: your trap will never open from the inside until you stop protecting it. Now let's talk about what choosing growth looks like. This is not hype. This is not motivational quotes. These are real choices. Choice number 1, choose pain with purpose. Growth pain has a destination. Trap pain has repetition. Choice number 2, choose the hard no that protects your future. Some of you need one sentence: I can't do that anymore. And yes, it will feel uncomfortable at first, but discomfort is not danger, it is training. Choice number 3, choose consistency over excitement. Excitement is a visitor, consistency is a builder. If you only move when you feel inspired, you stay trapped in moods. Choice number 4, choose the identity first. Say it loud: I'm becoming the kind of person who does, you know. Because when you try to change behavior without identity, your old self will keep pulling you back like a rubber band. But when identity changes, choices becomes easier. So let me end with this picture. Imagine you're standing between two rooms. One room is familiar. You know where everything is. You know the pain. You know the patterns. You know the people. You know the excuses. The other room is growth. You can't see everything in there yet. You don't know if you will succeed. You don't know who will understand you. You don't know if you'll be accepted. So you stand in the doorway. And that doorway becomes your prison, because you never fully leave the old and you never fully enter the new. So you live in almost disciplined, almost healed, almost focused, almost consistent, almost ready. But listen, friends, your life is too expensive to live in almost. You weren't built to just manage your trap. You were built to break out of it. And the way out is not luck. It is a choice. If this message speaks to you, I want you to not sit with it alone. As you listen, kindly share it with someone in your world that needs to hear this. And if you're ready to build a new life, one decision at a time, subscribe, because this channel is for people who are done surviving and ready to become. Let me say it one more time, but this time slowly. Where other aims are in conflict with growth, we must choose growth. Because if you don't, you will decorate the trap. You normalize the trap. You explain the trap. You even call it my personality. You call it my situation. You call it just how life is. But deep inside you will know you were made for more than this. So choose growth. Even if it costs you discomfort, choose growth. Even if it costs you approval, choose growth. Even if it costs you the old version of you. Because what's waiting on the other side of growth is freedom. And you deserve to live free. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your support. Do have a great day ahead. Bye for now.